The National Electrical Code, or NEC, sets standards for electrical installations to ensure safety. One crucial regulation addresses the placement of receptacles, also known as outlets, in proximity to bathtubs and shower stalls. According to the NEC, it's generally not permissible to install a 120 volts receptacle within 6 feet measured horizontally from the top edge of a bathtub or shower stall. This restriction is in place to mitigate the risk of electrical shock. Water is an excellent conductor of electricity, and the presence of a receptacle within close range of a water source significantly increases the potential for a dangerous or even fatal electrical incident. The scenario where a receptacle is installed above a bathtub, even if subsequently covered by a decorative feature such as a waterfall, presents a clear violation of the NEC. The determining factor isn't simply whether the receptacle is visible or concealed, but rather its proximity to the water source. Even with a covering, the receptacle remains within the 6-foot zone, and the potential for contact with water persists. Several scenarios could lead to such contact. Firstly, leaks or overflows from the bathtub or shower could splash water onto the receptacle, even if it's behind a covering. Secondly, condensation could form on the receptacle or within the covering structure, creating a conductive path to ground. Thirdly, damage to the covering could expose the receptacle directly to water. In all of these situations, the presence of a live electrical receptacle poses a significant hazard. The NEC prioritizes safety, and the 6-foot rule is designed to create a buffer zone between electrical sources and water sources. This buffer zone significantly reduces the likelihood of electrical shock. The installation of a receptacle for a waterfall feature above a bathtub, even with the intention of concealing it, does not negate the code violation. The potential for water contact remains, and the risk of electrical shock is still present. In such cases, alternative solutions should be explored. One possibility is to relocate the receptacle to a location outside the 6-foot zone. Another option is to use a ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, protected circuit. GFCIs are designed to detect ground faults and quickly interrupt the flow of electricity, preventing electrical shock. However, even with GFCI protection, it's still advisable to adhere to the NEC 6-foot rule whenever possible. The NEC is updated regularly to reflect new technologies and evolving safety concerns. It's essential for electricians and homeowners alike to stay informed about the latest code requirements to ensure safe electrical installations. Violations of the NEC can result in fines, penalties, and, more importantly, increased risk of electrical hazards. Always consult with a qualified electrician to ensure that electrical work is performed in compliance with the NEC and local building codes. It's important to note that the 6-foot rule applies to standard 120-volt receptacles. High-voltage receptacles, such as 240 volts receptacles, may have different clearance requirements. Consult the NEC for specific requirements based on voltage and application. When planning electrical work in bathrooms, consider the placement of all electrical components, including receptacles, switches, and lighting fixtures. Ensure that these components are located in safe zones away from water sources. If you're unsure about the code requirements, consult with a qualified electrician. They can provide guidance on proper installation techniques and ensure that your electrical work meets all applicable safety standards. The NEC also addresses the type of wiring and enclosures that are permitted in wet locations such as bathrooms. Use only approved wiring and enclosures that are designed to withstand moisture and humidity. Proper grounding is also essential for electrical safety. Ensure that all electrical circuits are properly grounded to provide a safe path for fault currents. Regular inspections of electrical systems can help identify potential hazards before they cause problems. Have your electrical system inspected by a qualified electrician periodically to ensure that it's in good working order. When performing electrical work, always follow safe work practices. Turn off the power to the circuit before working on any electrical components. Use insulated tools and wear appropriate personal protective equipment, or PPE, such as gloves and eye protection. If you're not comfortable performing electrical work yourself, hire a qualified electrician. They have the knowledge, skills, and experience to perform electrical work safely and correctly. Remember, electrical safety is paramount. By following the NEC and consulting with qualified professionals, you can minimize the risk of electrical hazards in your home. The NEC is a comprehensive document that covers a wide range of electrical topics. It's important to familiarize yourself with the NEC if you're involved in electrical work. You can purchase a copy of the NEC from the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA. The NFPA also offers training courses on the NEC. These courses can help you understand the code requirements and how to apply them in real-world situations. The NEC is not just a set of rules, it's a guide to safe electrical practices. By following the NEC, you can help protect yourself, your family, and your property from electrical hazards. Always prioritize safety when working with electricity. It's better to be safe than sorry. If you have any questions or concerns about electrical safety, consult with a qualified electrician. They can provide expert advice and guidance on all aspects of electrical safety. The goal is to ensure the safety of all individuals in and around electrical systems. The NEC serves as the cornerstone for that purpose. By understanding and adhering to its guidelines, we can collectively create a safer electrical environment. Consider the implications of non-compliance, which range from property damage to severe injury or loss of life. The 6-foot rule isn't arbitrary, it's based on years of experience and data analysis regarding electrical accidents. The zone of proximity to water sources is statistically proven to be a high-risk area. The presence of a GFCI is not a substitute for the 6-foot rule. While GFCIs provide valuable protection against ground faults, they do not eliminate the risk of electrical shock entirely. The best approach is to combine both measures, adhering to the 6-foot rule and using GFCI protection. Think about the potential scenarios where a waterfall feature could malfunction, leading to water exposure. A pump failure, a clogged drain, or a cracked water line could all result in water spraying or leaking onto the receptacle. The covering itself may not be waterproof, and water could seep through cracks or joints. The materials used in the construction of the covering could also be conductive, further increasing the risk of electrical shock. It's not sufficient to simply assume that the covering will protect the receptacle from water. A thorough risk assessment should be conducted to identify all potential hazards. Alternative solutions, such as wireless remote controls for the waterfall pump, could eliminate the need for a receptacle near the bathtub altogether. Battery-operated pumps could also be considered. The key is to explore all possible options to minimize the risk of electrical shock. If a receptacle is absolutely necessary near the bathtub, it should be installed at the maximum possible distance from the water source, and it should be protected by a GFCI. The receptacle should also be clearly labeled as GFCI protected. Regular testing of the GFCI is essential to ensure that it's functioning properly. The test button on the GFCI should be pressed monthly to verify that it trips the circuit. If the GFCI does not trip, it should be replaced immediately. Electrical safety is a shared responsibility. Electricians, homeowners, and manufacturers all have a role to play in preventing electrical accidents. By working together, we can create a safer electrical environment for everyone. The NEC is a living document that is constantly evolving to meet the changing needs of the electrical industry. Stay informed about the latest code requirements and best practices for electrical safety. The investment in electrical safety is an investment in the well-being of yourself and others. Don't take risks with electricity. Always consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns. Remember that the pursuit of aesthetic design should never compromise safety. A beautiful bathroom is not worth the risk of electrical shock. Prioritize safety above all else. The peace of mind that comes with knowing that your electrical system is safe and compliant with the NEC is invaluable. Don't cut corners when it comes to electrical safety. It's a decision that you will never regret.